Mr. Transformers 96 here with another review. This time we have the Star Wars The Black Series X-Wing pilot Asty. So yeah, this was one of my most anticipated figures from Wave 4. Wave 4 was a good wave, for General Hux and Asty. I was very much looking forward to both of those. I have ordered General Hux, but at the time of filming this, he hasn't arrived yet. But I was able to find an Asty in stores, which is quite nice. Here's the packaging. You do have a good, nice artwork of Asty on the front there. And you have him on the back. This is the 14th figure. Alright, so let's go over this. So he is, of course, one of the X-Wing pilots. In the movie, we do see him. He has a couple lines. Spoiler alert for Asty here. Obviously, he's not a big character, so who cares? But he does die in the movie. You know, he says, "I'm hit," as his cockpit begins to blow up, and then we do see his X-Wing completely blow up. But at the end, when they're all waving goodbye, you do actually see Asty there. He is in that crowd. He's clearly visible there, and there isn't another X-Wing pilot that's this alien that we see in the movie. So I don't know if Asty lives or dies. We might see him in the future, but who knows? I'm not quite sure if he did actually survive the events of The Force Awakens. We'll have to see. Only time will tell that. But obviously not a big character in the movie, mainly just a side character, which I was a little disappointed in. Before the movie came out, I was actually kind of not like super anticipating, but I was kind of interested to see how Asty would be. I did like the design of the face a lot, so I thought that he could have made for an interesting character there, but really wasn't much of a character whatsoever. Going over the actual face sculpt here onto the figure, as you can see, it's quite nice. I do like it a lot. He has almost a fish type of design. I do like it. He's kind of done in a light brown, but with a tremendous amount of dark highlighting in him. And then there's a tremendous amount of detailing in him, a lot of wrinkles and a lot of really nice design. So the fantastic paint and detail mixed really makes for a good figure. The eyes look a little bit wonky. I mean, it looks like his left eye there is a little bit more closed than his right one. I don't know why that is the case, but it does kind of have that appearance. But he does look really nice, and I do like this head sculpt a lot. Probably the best part of the figure. The actual X-Wing pilot's suit is quite nice as well. It is sculpted really nicely with all of the wrinkles and everything. I think that they did a tremendous job with that, as well as there is a good amount of detail in the chest there, as you can see, and on the arms. There's a lot of nice texture, which is good. He does come with a gun. It seems to be very similar, if not the exact same gun that Poe Dameron has, but it is gold, which looks pretty interesting and has some silver highlights on it. He does have his gloves here. He has very big hands, so I'm not quite sure why that's the case. I guess it's just because he's an alien, but they are black, but he does have some kind of like a tan wash into it, which is quite nice. And then his vest is a kind of a yellowish white, and it does have some nice detail there. And then he does have his boots and everything. Articulation on Asty is pretty standard for the Black Series. He has a ball hinge neck. One thing that I really don't like about this figure is that it feels like the neck joint and the head is a soft plastic. It just feels very loose. Like it looks like you're about to rip off his head when you do try to use the hinge there, which is definitely a shame, and it is the biggest problem with this figure, I find. He has ball hinge shoulders, hinge swivel elbows. The hinges aren't that great. They don't even move 90 degrees, unfortunately. He has hinge swivel wrists, ball jointed upper torso, but mostly it just works as a swivel, and it is slightly hindered by the strap moving this way, but moving this way, of course, is completely free. He has a ball jointed thigh with thigh swivel, double hinge knees, hinge pivoting ankles, which work quite nice. When you compare him to a similar figure with the X-Wing Poe Dameron, let me get him out here. As you can see, they look pretty good together. It looks like the shade of orange is slightly different on them, but it is just slightly, which is good. I think the texturing, or the wrinkles look a little bit better and more defined with the Poe Dameron rather than the Asty. And obviously Poe Dameron doesn't have the soft plastic bits. I think that just in general, figure-wise, I like the Poe Dameron better. However, I really do like the Asty head sculpt. And obviously the Poe Dameron head sculpt is absolute crap. So, Asty definitely wins when it comes to head sculpt bases. But having both of them together is really nice. Asty does come with his helmet, which looks quite nice. Of course, it is not just a reuse of Poe Dameron's helmet. It's a completely new helmet. And it does have some really nice symbols on it and good paint in general. It can fit right over his head. There we go. As you can see, actually looks really good, and the visor is a translucent yellow, and it's a really light translucent, which is good, so you can really see that head sculpt underneath. You can see his eyes there, and he looks really nice with the helmet. The only thing I don't like about him wearing the helmet is it hides some of that great detail on the face. But in general, an excellent figure, definitely a nice representation of Asty from the movie, and I would highly recommend it. It's my video review of the Star Wars The Black Series Asty figure. Thanks so much for watching.